Hey guys, come and join me in the old Frog and Toad for a pipe chat. It's a warmer environment in there as well because it's bloody freezing out here.
Welcome to the pub, come and have a beer. Come along and sing a song of real good cheer. Forget your cares today, it's time to laugh and play. We're drunk again this afternoon on Saturday. The songs we like the best of all are old songs. Sad songs, bad songs, bold songs. If you like to sing, come and have a fling. Everybody welcome to the pub. Oh yeah! I'd like to welcome you to the pub. Away we go.
Hey guys, Mike here from Old Man Things, and welcome to the old Frog and Toad pup shed. I'm in the back snug. I just dropped all my bloody tobacco. So, the funny thing is I was just thinking the other day, I gotta be careful the way I grab that, because I could drop that. Let me light my pipe. So now we shall begin, ladies and gentlemen. So far, so good. Touch bloody wood. And I don't get told off the last couple of days. Well, yesterday. I've only had it since yesterday morning. But that was the reason why I put this here. So anyways, I'm quite pleased with it, really, touch wood. But everything works great the first couple of days. Cheers. I'm having a cup of Yorkshire tea, ladies and gentlemen. Yorkshire tea. And when I make it like this, I leave the bloody tea bag in. Add a drop of milk. And that is bloody perfect, guys, in my opinion. Well, Uncle Elfie used to have 2 tea bags in his cup like that. And my old Uncle Elfie was a character. I have a picture of him. Just a second, I'll get it and show you. It's blurry, but I had asked him if I could have a picture of him in his uniform, and this is my old Uncle Elfie. I always wanted to name one of my kids Elfie after him, Alfred. My last conversation with him was, I called him up and I went, "Hey, Uncle Elfie, it's Mike." And he went, "Oh, hello, Michael." I said, "How you doing?" And he says, "I'm not well, mate. I'm not bloody well, like." And I said, "What's wrong?" And he went, "I haven't got long now, mate." I said, "Oh, don't talk like that." And he went, "No, it's true. I'm not well, Michael. I haven't got long left." He died by the end of that week. I'm so glad I decided to call him that day too. I loved my Uncle Elfie. So he'd always come to visit us in America. And I had all these fishing baits. I loved fishing when I was in high school and like well, even before that, like when I was in junior high and stuff. And I started working since when I was 15. And every paycheck, I would take some money and get some nice fishing tackle. I had a nice fishing box, and I had it all in there. And I mean, it was really nice. It was a big old thing, and I was quite proud of my stuff. And one day, while I was going to college, my Uncle Elfie was here, and my dad took him, and because my Uncle Elfie liked fishing, so he took him by an old cranberry bog, is what they called it. And it was, the cranberry, where they make grow the cranberry beds and stuff, they need water in that certain time of year, so they would always flood out, and they call them cranberry bogs around there. And then they put fish in there and everything else. So anyways, my dad set my Uncle Elfie up with a chair and gave him my bloody tackle box. Well, because it's just a flooded field, there's all logs and everything else. And he lost 90% of my bloody fishing tackle. Oh well. It was a lot of fun. It was Elfie and Ruby. And that's where I got my names for my puppets, Elfie and Ruby. And they lived in Enfield, North London, and they didn't have much money. And I always like the story. He invited my Uncle Freddie over for dinner, Uncle Freddie and his wife Pat, for dinner one day, or for lunch, or tea, I suppose they say it. So Uncle Elfie got a tin of salmon. And of course, he couldn't afford the red salmon, so he got pink salmon. And he put red food coloring in it. So I said, did Uncle Freddie, because Uncle Freddie was a character, you know, he was always laughing and everything. I said, did Uncle Freddie notice? Did he say anything? And he went, oh yeah, he said he only said one thing. And I said, what was that? He went, oh, and it red. Anyhow. I'm not going to review this until I've had it for the rest of the whole summer, the whole winter. I'm not even going to tell you the name of it, but you probably know by looking at it. So, other people in the country are starting to get snow. So, guys, be careful out there. It's just, like here, it's bitter bloody cold. I've got some things in the works, ladies and gentlemen, for the old snug. I'm quite excited about it. But I shall wait until it's all ready. So I don't know how it'll work. I think it will work out and it will be bloody alright, mate. Oh, and guess what? I'm out of tonic. And I can't be bloody bothered to go to the store. I have to drop off the electric bill tomorrow, so I'll just get a couple things. I should tell you, my uncle Elfie was a poacher. And he would go poaching rabbits. So he raised ferrets. And he would, when he'd go poaching, he'd have this long jacket. And he'd have long pockets in the jacket of his different ferrets, and what they'd do is when you'd find a rabbit hole, you'd send a ferret through, and then it would chase the rabbit out, and they'd be waiting for it and break its neck. Well, my Uncle Jim, who I always stayed with, thought the world up, took my Uncle Elfie out to the pub for a pint one day. I think he was somewhere and he saw my Uncle Elfie and he went, "Oh, let me take you, you want me to get you a drink?" And he went, "Yeah, that'd be lovely." So they go to this pub. And my Uncle Elfie had his poaching jacket on and my Uncle Jim didn't know anything about it. And they're drinking and Jimmy says to me, he says, "Mike," he said, "I thought I was going a bit Harry and Billy in the mine." It's Harry and Billy, silly, but not. He said the jacket kept on moving in the corner of my eye, and he thought, "Oh dear," he said, "I don't think I had that much to drink." So then he started making a point to watch it, and then every time he really watched it, it wouldn't move, and then when he would be talking to my Uncle Elfie, it'd start moving again. Finally, he says to my Uncle Elfie, he says, "Elfie," he says, "your jacket keeps on moving. I swear I've seen it move." And he went, "Well, I've got all my ferrets in there." But my old granddad, Jimmy Lee, was a poacher. And my grandma said during the war, she says, they had all the meat rations and stuff. And she said, but we always had meat. Because my great-granddad Jimmy Lee would poach and get the rabbits. So, and he raised the ferrets. I'm sure that's who taught my Uncle Elfie. All right, guys. Just because I said, what did I even say that brought my... I don't even know what made me talk about Uncle Elfie. But he was a character. When my Uncle Freddie died at the funeral, my Uncle Elfie went up to my Uncle Harry and he went, "Harry, you're next, mate." And Harry told me this story. Uncle Harry did. And Harry says, "Elfie, what you bloody talking about?" And he says, "You're next, mate. It's Freddie, now you're going to be next." Well, it put my Uncle Harry in a right bloody mood. But Uncle Elfie was the next one. Anyways, guys, I've rabbited on long enough and I don't have any ferrets to chase the bloody rabbits out. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to have to get a vacuum now and vacuum up the bits I can't get. So cheers, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe if you can, and cheerio, my dear friends.
It's time.
Oh, who's gonna
Hi, gentlemen,
I don't know who's gonna drive. Hello, Ducky. Will you? Have you got a car, love?
I know this is the
I
last.
don't know what your name is, but could you drive Mother home? It's a shame, isn't it?
A bit living.
A shame. It's a shame when you can't go
Good night, everybody. Good night. See you. Thank you very much. See you.